Long before cities rose, before writing, before even the idea of nations, humanity stood at the edge of a frozen world. The planet was colder then. Ice sheets stretched across continents, oceans were lower by hundreds of feet, and between two worlds, Asia and the Americas, there existed a vast land now lost to time. This land was not ocean. It was not ice. It was a bridge, and across it, humanity walked into the unknown. This place was Beringia. For tens of thousands of years, Beringia connected Siberia to North America. A windswept plain of tundra and grassland, it was larger than modern-day Europe. No borders, no signs, only sky, earth, and survival. And it was here that one of the most important journeys in human history began, not in a single moment, but across generations. These people did not know they were changing the course of humanity. They were not explorers seeking new continents. They were families, hunters, children, elders. They followed the animals that sustained them, mammoths, bison, caribou, moving slowly eastward as the climate shifted, step by step, season by season. They carried no maps, only memory. Beringia was not the frozen wasteland once imagined. During the Ice Age, it was surprisingly rich in life. Grasses fed massive herds. Rivers cut through the plains. Birds filled the skies. This land sustained human populations for thousands of years, long enough for a distinct culture to form, isolated from both Asia and the Americas. These people adapted to extreme cold. They learned to sew fitted clothing from animal hides. They crafted tools from stone, bone, and ivory. They built shelters from driftwood and mammoth tusks. Fire was life. Cooperation was survival. Children were born here. Generations grew old here. Beringia was not a passage, it was a homeland. Then the world began to change. The climate warmed. Ice sheets melted. Sea levels rose. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, the land bridge began to disappear. What had once been a wide plain narrowed year by year. Rivers became coastlines. Valleys flooded. The homeland was vanishing. Some groups turned back west. Others pressed forward east, into a land no human had ever seen. North America. The journey into the Americas was not a single wave. It was many movements over thousands of years. Some traveled inland through ice-free corridors between massive glaciers. Others followed the coastline, moving by foot and primitive boats along kelp-rich shores that provided food and shelter. These coastal travelers left almost no trace. Rising seas erased their camps, their paths, their stories. but their descendants would spread across 2 continents. They encountered a world untouched by humans. Giant animals roamed freely. Forests were dense and silent. Rivers ran without names. Over generations, humans spread southward, into plains, deserts, jungles, and mountains. They adapted again and again, becoming many peoples with many cultures. From the Arctic to Patagonia, all indigenous peoples of the Americas trace their deepest roots back to this journey. Not a conquest, not an invasion, a migration driven by survival. For thousands of years, this story was forgotten or misunderstood. Early theories dismissed indigenous histories. Science underestimated the age of human presence in the Americas. But genetics, archaeology, and oral traditions told a deeper truth. DNA revealed a long isolation in Beringia. Artifacts showed advanced toolmaking earlier than expected. Indigenous stories spoke of emergence, journeys, and ancient lands now beneath the sea. Science finally began to listen. Beringia is gone now, submerged beneath the Bering Sea. Its rivers are ocean currents. Its plains are darkness. But its legacy lives in every indigenous nation across the Americas. The first Americans were not lost wanderers. They were survivors of a disappearing world. And their journey remains one of the greatest human stories ever told.